now. So we're gonna have the intro.
What time is it?
It is 8.
Mike, do I have to be close to this?
You have to about like French kiss it, practically. No tongue.
Hey. Which is the camera? All three? Oh, one on you, one on me.
Yeah, exactly.
One on the truth,
We all got one.
and one on Franco. Franco?
Is this in my face? This one?
That's imaginary.
I have a bad cough.
I'm diving into my hobbies and exploring many interests. And everything. Are you ready for it? This is The Slam Show.
I like that intro.
You like that, huh?
It's really nice.
Very professional.
Thank you, thank you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of The Slam Show for the week of July 10th, 2017. I'm your host, Slam and Sam, coming at you on this great Monday night here in the lovely city of Oakland, California, sponsored by Volkswagen here on Broadway. How's that plug there, Mr. Murphy?
Very nice. Sam.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you. All right.
You've only been doing this free for 2 years here, and finally gave us a plug. On behalf of the city of Oakland and Volkswagen, thank you.
You're very much welcome. All right, guys. If you haven't done so already, please follow me on all social media under the handle I Am Slammin'. All right, I got a few announcements before we go into the main topics of the program. But first, I'd like to introduce everyone on the panel. First off, we have my good friend, Houston Rockets fan. Let's have a big round of applause for Truth Esguerra, everyone.
Yo.
I'm pretty brave to say that you're my good friend, even though you're not a Warriors fan. Is that
Well,
so?
did that prove you're not, you're unbiased right there. You know what I'm saying? So,
For the time being,
yeah,
because you're here.
yeah. I'm doing this favor for you, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, remember, I pay you under the table. All right, moving on. Our special guest co-host, straight out of Canada.
That's right. Represent.
Yes, I haven't seen him in like, what, how many years?
1999.
1999.
Do your math.
Canada.
That's almost 30 years. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
technically.
Hey.
Kept in touch all that years, eh?
Exactly.
Hey.
Hey.
What did I say?
Hey, that's the
Hey.
whole
Hey.
Canadian thing.
Hey, let's play some hockey, eh?
Let's have a big round of applause for Franco Carlo, everyone. I like your stance there. It's like not directly in front of the mic, but sort of like a
Sideways.
a sideways thing. Are you comfortable like that?
I want to face you.
You want to face me, or do you want to get a shoulder massage from Truth? Is that the angle you're trying to hit?
This guy right here.
He wants one. Give him one, just a real quick one.
Oh yeah.
What happens in Oakland stays in Oakland.
Whoa!
Too
that's
bad it's
absolutely right.
broadcasting live.
Exactly. So welcome, Franco,
Thank
for
you,
coming
Sam.
onto the
Thank you.
program. We're excited to hear some of your crazy stories from Canada
All right. Anytime.
and your insights.
Canada crazy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, that's true.
Hey.
That's true. All right.
Canada unfiltered.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest of the evening, he is a renowned best-selling author, and he's been on the show 3 years ago, 2014.
That
Yeah,
long
it's
ago.
been long ago.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Lots
OG.
happened since then.
Lots happened. Lots of positive things
For
have
you,
happened.
too.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And he is well on his way to providing some great wellness and information throughout the world. Let's have a big round of applause for Michael Murphy, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
Finally, you're on the program.
Again. Thank you.
Well, we've been trying to get you on ever since we moved over here from Pittsburgh, and it's just been kind of like hit and miss because of your scheduling. You're always out the country
See?
doing these incredible retreats and seminars, influencing the world, and we're excited to have you on the program to share that story with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, sounds good. Okay, before we get into anything, I have a few announcements to make. This Thursday night, be sure to tune in on Facebook Live. I'll be doing my usual Slam and Mix show, which I'll be playing a lot of old school, new school stuff. 7:30 Pacific time. Please check your local listings and get ready for a great 3 hours of good music. Have you seen that show yet?
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you. You sound very
Thursday,
pretty
right?
convincing. Yeah.
Thursdays.
Thursday night. Thursday.
I watch it in Medellin every week.
Oh, thank you.
Power of the internet.
Yeah, exactly. That's why the show exists. Without the internet, the Slam Show does not come of age. That's for sure. This Saturday, July 15th, come check us out over at Sneaker Pop-Up over here in Oakland at the Oakland Convention Center. TVEPN will be in the house. We'll be having a booth, raffling up prizes, giveaways, all that good stuff. So please check that out at the Sneaker Pop-Up. If you're into clothing apparel, sneaker kicks, I'm talking about like Jordans. And
Nice.
like these shoes are upwards of 1,500 and
Yeezys,
exactly.
Whoa.
some Air Maxes,
Yeah. So
some, foams.
if you're all into that, please come check us out over at the Sneaker Pop-Up over at the Oakland Convention Center this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So see you there. And also, right behind me, you're kind of wondering what the heck this thing is. It is the Bump Box. And if you're an old schooler, it's kind of ringing a bell because it kind of reminds you of those big giant ghetto blasters back in the days. Remember that, Mike, when you would put the cassette in, walk down the street, and you're just playing whatever, whether it's Bon Jovi or Run DMC? This is what we provide. So Bump Box from SoCal is sponsoring the program. So if you want more information, just Google that, Bump Box, Southern California. Check this out and get yourself a Bump Box.
I love it.
I love it too. I want one.
You want one?
It's OG
you
right
got to
there.
represent for Canada.
That's right.
This is it right here. This is what the old school's about.
Bring that back to Canada.
You know, later I actually have a great story for you how I use that to transform my entire life. Not the bump box, but that technology.
I
I'll
love to
share
hear.
it with you later.
Please do. So yeah, check out the Bump Box. SoCal, props out to Les, the representative over there in San Diego. Thank you, sir. And yeah, it is an incredible item. All right. Before we get into our interview, I'd like to touch base with our co-hosts because they haven't been here in such a long while. Starting off with Truth Isgara. Truth,
What do you want?
first off, you are sporting the Houston Rockets outfit because you are a big fan. And also, you're still doing stuff for Philippine News and,
Yeah.
and all the editorial work for them. Let's talk about that fight with Pacquiao.
What fight?
So
People,
what is going on with boxing? It seems like there's a lot of controversy going on more and more. And
yeah.
what-
Well, people highlight the controversial fights. They look at the Pacquiao, Horn. They look at Canelo and Chavez Jr. They look at the bad fights, but then they ignore some good fights.
Yeah, like Andre Ward and all that.
Yeah, Andre Ward, Kovalev. Oh man, that
Yeah.
was such an amazing fight.
It was.
Yeah. So I mean, people like to highlight the bad stuff, but boxing still has some good fights left. Especially you got Triple G Canelo coming up. That
Correct.
one's pretty good.
Now, be honest with me. It seemed like it was fixed.
For
Obviously,
Pacquiao Horn.
yeah, because
seems like it.
It's in his hometown.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious from the novice viewer that Pacquiao won on all rounds, pretty much. But the majority, you have to admit that.
I scored it for Pacquiao winning the fight,
Correct.
but there are some people that scored it kind of close. Even if you scored the fight 15-13, which is a close fight, for Pacquiao, if one round difference could have mean Horn won the fight, or
Correct.
the fight could have been a draw. There was one score that was like an outlier score, 117. That was an outlier score saying Horn won all but 3 rounds. Won 9 rounds. That's an outlier score. But yeah, you can say maybe there was a little bit of hometown cooking. You could say that
Just a little
but
bit.
the fight was close enough that you can say you could give it to Horn, but a big majority of the boxing community would say Pacquiao won the fight, and casual fans would say he won that fight. That's why it kind of felt like it was kind of like cooking.
Right.
But in the long run, I think it could be good for Pacquiao that he lost because there's a rematch clause
Correct.
for that fight. So if he fights Horn again and redeems himself, he could retire with grace. Compared to because the other upcoming opponents Pacquiao could fight is like Terrence Crawford or like Errol Spence or the likes of those, and those guys right now could knock out like an old Pacquiao. So I don't want to for me, I just don't want to see Pacquiao go out with sleeping.
Well-
I'd rather have him go out winning a trilogy over a young buck. But
Okay. Well, he made something
never
like
know.
10 million off that, right?
yeah, it's like around 10 million.
Well-
That was the report.
Hey, win or lose, that was a great deal, I think.
Yeah. And this was just a show that Pacquiao is just old, man. Like Pacquiao loves fighters that come forward because he he loves to trade,
Mm-hmm.
and if you trade with Pacquiao, you usually lose because he likes to throw a left. And especially fighters that come forward like Horn. That's like a Ricky Hatton type of fighter, which
Right, right.
Pacquiao could totally demolish back in his prime. So yeah, you're witnessing a prime Pacquiao. The good days are gone, and just cherish what you have left. So,
Yeah, exactly. So you guys out there, if you're a Pacquiao fan, just make sure you're watching the remaining amount of bouts that are coming, because this is going to be it.
yeah, it's
That
gonna
is
retire
going.
real soon.
It's going to be a wrap.
Yep.
Well, thank you for your insight there, Truth. Let's roll over to Franco, our Canadian co-host.
That's
Okay.
right. Talk to me. Talk to me.
So, you're the first Canadian guest ever on the Slam Show.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that was
I'm
the
honored.
primary
Congratulations.
reason why I wanted you to come on,
Thank
so
you,
we could
Sam.
just check that off.
That's right. So, what do you want to know?
Stereotypes, man. Come on, let's just make it light.
Yeah, like people always assume Canada's like cold, Eskimo, Arctic, but it's not. Like where I live, it's like, like New York City. Your typical,
Where do you live?
I live in Hamilton,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like 45 minutes away from Toronto and 45 minutes away from Niagara Falls. So I'm in the middle, so I can go whenever I want, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a great country because we have a really good health benefits.
That's what I heard.
We don't get hospital bills. If we go to a doctor checkup, we don't get billed on that.
That's amazing, isn't it?
It is. So
I think we struggled with that here so many times, and I think we talked about that previous, Michael, in terms of how the healthcare here is so monopolized.
Yes.
And Michael will go in depth with that. That's for damn sure, because there's a lot of things that are questionable as far as how our government and state works and on that level. So, as far as like your lifestyle is concerned, are you still doing a lot of the stuff you did before? You're always keeping in shape. Like you haven't
Yeah.
aged a day.
I'm 43. Going to be
What?
44. That's right.
You look like you're
Uh,
16.
Exactly. I get 16 with a baseball hat. 25, 30, but
You definitely get
44,
carded
yeah.
still.
it must be the rice.
Oh, yes.
That's right.
It has to be.
Agreed.
That's
And-
that's our secret stuff.
Secret.
That's the Asian secret stuff. Rice.
You think so?
Yeah, look
I
at
thought it was-
you.
I thought it was banana sauce.
Naman Tomas.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
that's some banana ketchup.
So since you've been here, where have you gone?
So far, Treasure Island.
Okay. Alcatraz?
That's our next plan.
Okay.
What's that famous truck food in I forgot
Truck food?
truck food in it's
In and out?
no, it's a park. I can't remember. I was just there yesterday.
A park. A park.
It's
What
in San
city?
Francisco.
Ghirardelli Square?
No.
No.
Mission
Whoa.
Dolores Park.
I have no clue.
Golden
what the-
Gate?
It's a bunch of truck food.
Oh, it's
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
we know what we're talking about.
yeah. A lot of food trucks are like congregated in
Yes,
this area.
and then you
Yeah,
just
it's like
have your own picnic. It's
Gotcha.
Family days every Sunday.
okay.
Yeah.
What did you eat?
We had
Rice.
actually steamed rice.
Exposed.
Yeah. Rice ball, smashed potato. That was good.
No balut.
No balut. Actually, I don't eat that stuff.
You know what? They were trying to force feed me that, ladies and gentlemen, over in the Philippines when we were over there. You know what balut is, right, Mike?
No.
It's the
Embryo of a duck.
embryo of a duck.
Nice.
Almost fully,
Mm,
developed.
Sounds
Yeah.
delicious. With rice?
With rice if you
Yeah,
want, but
okay.
it's famous with vinegar and salt.
Mm,
Exactly.
that sounds
It's
good.
got a lot of
Exactly.
proteins if you want
Yeah,
the
I'm
protein.
sure.
Yeah.
There's actually a first level to that that's not quite the balut. It's called pinoy, which
Really?
is it's basically a hard-boiled egg. So if you're afraid of doing the balut, you try the pinoy. And that thing was so rich, it almost made me throw up. It was freaking disgusting. So I could imagine how the balut is going to actually taste. Think about this, Michael. It's freaking an embryo. You're talking about hairs, a beak, and you're diving right into it. Just kind of like process that if it's going to be comfortable.
Did you have some?
Hell no. Now, I'm going to ask this. Truth, have you tried balut?
Yeah.
And
You like it?
So like
It was it's cool, but usually a lot of people just
Oh,
sip
yeah.
the juice.
or they eat in the dark, right? So they don't see it.
or you're drinking it like you're intoxicated off your ass. So you're just going to dive in just like have no regrets. So, how many times have you taken it?
Probably like a couple, probably like 1, 2, 3, probably a couple. Not too much. Like I wouldn't choose to eat it, but
Okay.
they're like,
So if we send someone to go get some balut, would you do it on the show?
Sure, why not?
That
like
is
Fear
my
Factor.
boy.
Where
That-
would you
I
get it here
don't
in
do
Oakland?
this too often though.
There should be an international market here, right? Somewhere.
Probably.
Usually is.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, we just have to Google map it. Just kidding. We won't hassle with that.
Do you-
But on the next show, we'll do it.
Sam, do you eat the chocolate soup?
Yeah, it's called Dinuguan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, see? I know my Tagalog to some
Alright.
degree.
All
Come
three
on.
of you guys Filipino?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm the token white guy. I
Well,
love
we thought you had some Filipino in you because you're always traveling.
Un poquito.
Oh, Spanish, but we'll take it.
Yeah, it's right
close.
there. That's
We're
where it's
get-
derived
Getting
from.
closer.
Yeah, closer is good enough. Well, Franco, thank you for being able to come on the program.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for
And
having me.
I'd love to have both of you guys, you and Truth, interact on this incredible mashup episode of the Slam Show because we have our special guest in the house. Once again, it is the founder of the Love for Margot Foundation here in Oakland, and he has done so much for the city and so many others that are connected within his circle. Once again, let's have a big round of applause for Michael Murphy, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, these are the books he has up. If we could kindly have the picture.
Let me
camera.
help you a little bit because this is the only one that's published so far.
Okay.
This one, so you can show that one if you want. This one's available on Amazon right now. It was one time number 9 on the Wall Street Journal bestsellers. Also.
Number 9.
yeah,
Okay.
for a week. So I have truth in advertising. But it's a good book. But really the most important thing in that book was what I've termed the creation frequency. A lot of people missed it because it's kind of an emotional read, and I'm ADD, so I had way too much stuff in there. So this book is shorter. This will actually come out in the spring of 2018 by New World Library that also published Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now, which was a big bestseller. So I'm
Yes,
excited
yes.
to have a mainstream publisher. This was
That's
kind of
huge.
self-published, but more importantly, I have an online course with this, and we can talk a little bit more about it later, but really how you can tap into the frequency of the creator of all and manifest whatever you truly desire in your heart and bring it into the physical reality. And it's a very, someone taught me this when I was 25 years old and just taught me the process of literally manifesting or creating anything with the right intention and living a beautiful life. So I'm very excited about this book, but equally excited about the online course, and we've also have a free app that people can download. We'll get a little into that. And then this is my favorite book, which I actually started writing 6 years ago.
You could go ahead and show it to that camera.
Which one? This one? Okay. so,
No, a little
sorry.
bit. Yeah, there you
Okay,
go.
Gracias. And so this one here is really just it's my passion project. It's
Yeah.
just a labor of love, and don't have a publisher yet. We're shopping it right now, and some people are even talking about maybe making a made-for-TV movie out of it.
Oh,
So-
wow.
So hopefully this book will be out in a year or so.
Who's going to
and,
be the lead actor?
Not me.
I think Truth.
Maybe Truth.
Yeah, Truth.
What?
He looks like a leading man, doesn't he?
Freaking handsome.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
you know,
is.
I could lead, but yeah, I guess.
Why'd you look over to Franco for? You want him to be your co-star? He like looked over like, yeah, it's
But it's,
No,
it's actually a male and female role. So
Okay.
yeah, so only one of you guys.
Truth.
that's awesome. So yeah, getting back to when you were first on the Slam Show back in
Yes.
2014, you were talking about everything from the very beginning with Love
Right.
Unfiltered
Right.
and the foundation and how that began. If you want to go into it for our new viewers
Sure.
out there about how everything evolved from from the very beginning.
Well, actually, I have some very exciting news. For the Love for Margot Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit, and basically was started in 2012, and it was to serve women below the poverty line while they battle cancer. And it was inspired by a woman. It was inspired initially by my wife, Margot, who fought breast cancer for 9 years from the age of 29 to 38 until she passed away in 2011. But immediately after that, I met a beautiful woman named Amanda, who was also 38 and stage 4 breast cancer. And Amanda had 3 children. And she asked if I could help her find an oncologist because she'd moved from Wyoming to the Bay Area to get better treatment. So I took her to Margot's oncologist, and he ordered some tests. And for 2 months, me and Amanda went around. She had a couple surgeries, and we spent a lot of time together, and we became very good friends. But I noticed that she was treated differently than Margot was, perhaps because of finances, or she didn't have a husband there, or for a number of different reasons. I just felt that they either talked down to her or over her head, and felt very uncomfortable that I never said anything. And then after 2 months, we went back to Margot's oncologist, and he said, Amanda, the best protocol to extend your life are these 3 chemotherapies simultaneously. Unfortunately, your insurance will only pay for one. That's all I can give you. And the room went kind of quiet, and I was just like kind of blown away, frankly. And I just instinctively pulled out my credit card, and I said, okay, well, you just give her whatever she needs. And unbeknownst to me at the time, that was the beginning seed of what is now the Love for Margot Foundation. And so for the last 5 years, I've literally sat face to face with a couple hundred women that were battling cancer and frankly, battling lack of finances and some very difficult, sad situations that really moved me and inspired me to keep going with this work. But after 5 years of watching the same old protocol, which is basically chemo, surgery, radiation, and unfortunately way too many premature deaths, we came up with a concept to create what we're calling here in Oakland Margot's Greenhouse. And it's a community center where now these women can come for, education, nutritional advice, work and get massage therapy, nutritional advice, psychotherapy, group therapy. We'll have yoga, we'll have meditation, Tai Chi, a library where they can study. And the beautiful thing is in our healing center here, we've partnered with another organization called the Annie Cannons Foundation. And what I love about these 2 girls that started this is they work with victims of human trafficking in the sex trade. They take them out of these shelters, and then they educate them with data entry skills or how to build websites. And then they literally place them in jobs, high-paying jobs, actually. And so now these girls don't have to sell their body, that they're working and they're getting back to becoming whole again. And so we're just very excited. So this Thursday night, we're actually launching Margot's Greenhouse here in Oakland, a small little event here for the community to open the doors and get going. So my daughter Kelly, along with Jessica from Annie Cannons, are running it. And it's just, I'm very, very, very excited about this project because writing checks or paying for people's rent or utilities or medicine or transportation becomes kind of empty when they get sicker and sicker and then pass on, right? So I'm trying to promote health and a new way of life and to really strengthen whatever they're doing as far as Western treatment to just kind of help them strengthen their immune system, strengthen their mental capabilities, and really move from the head to the heart where they can really just find the power that really will transcend anything. So very excited about that project.
Now, you just mentioned about having alternative medicines and ways of going about that. Share with us what those alternatives are.
Well, that's a very touchy subject, actually. So to what I've done in addition to Margot's Greenhouse in the country of Colombia, South America, near the Rio Negro airport, which is right outside Medellin, we're building a retreat center. We have a 20-acre farm. We have our own food. We grow our own vegetables. We have our own fruit trees. We have our own water. And we're creating an environment there where literally people can heal, whether it's a mental illness, a physical, or emotional, and really have a spiritual awakening and tap into that power, which I call the creation frequency, where they can bring their own healing about, whether it's through nutrition or whether through emotional work and forgiveness and compassion, or clearing away the mental insanity that we all live with the constant inside critic and blah, blah, blah. The story, I like to say, the story that never stops, and get people to move out of the head and into the heart. I watch Tony Robbins a lot, and he says one thing that really resonates with me, which is, in the head, you're dead. And I couldn't agree more. I've been saying that for years, that the longest journey that any of us ever take is about 18 inches long, and that's to move from the head to the heart. To me, this is an insane asylum a lot of times, at least for me. But in the heart is truth, is love, compassion, service. And so a lot of people, and me being one, many, many years until I learned this secret, you get a bad thought, creates a bad emotion, creates a bad action, creates a bad destiny or life. So I like to get people to move into their heart and create their desires and their intentions from the heart, then use the mind to manifest into the material world and really become congruent mentally, emotionally, physically, and tap into this energetic spirit, right? Tesla said if you want to understand the universe, you have to understand frequency, vibration, and energy. Really, in my opinion, that's all that's going on here for all of us. Is we're just energy vibrating at a certain frequency, and the highest frequency is love. And when you get into that frequency, then you're compelled to serve, especially those less fortunate. Another great spiritual teacher I love is Byron Katie. And she basically teaches that, all suffering comes from a thought. And when you get this and you understand this and you're living from here, then you can just turn these thoughts around so that you no longer suffer and you're free. And so this is what we teach at our retreat center there in Columbia is called Mountains of Hope. And our website is mountainsofhope.com. And so it's a very exciting place, and I'm excited about that project as well.
Well, we are all thrown back. We are thrown back, Michael. This is incredible information. Truth, Franco, if you have any questions, let's start with you, Truth, for Michael Murphy. I'm pretty sure you have something.
All right, hey, Mike. I just want to say you're a phenomenal person. You're like a real life superhero, saving all these people and just giving hope to people who don't see anything in their future. And you're just an amazing human being. I just want to know what got you into writing that book, Love Unfiltered. What really got you into it?
Yeah, so actually I started writing this love story memoir that's not even published yet. And in the middle of it, I said, hey, wait, I want to take this message to the world. I was given this amazing gift in 1982. My life was a total mess. I have the equivalent of an 8th grade education. I grew up in a somewhat difficult home, a lot of alcohol. And I ran away when I was 14, 15, 16. I was arrested a half a dozen times before I was 18. Many automobile accidents, many long journeys on the road. And I was a total loser, and I was in a 12-step program. A friend of mine said, hey, man, your life is really messed up. And so, but he said, I know somebody might be able to help you, which in the book, Love Unfiltered, I call the mystery man. And only when I was writing The Creation Frequency did I research to find out who was this guy that really transformed my life. So basically he said to me, he said, Mike, if you come here 1 hour a week for 7 weeks, you can have everything you want in life. And I had nothing. I mean, I had no money, negative net worth, and blah, blah, blah. So the first hour of the first week, and it was $50 an hour, which in 1982 is like $1,100 today. I paid for this course. We're actually selling the Creation Frequency course for $397, but we have a $200 introductory discount, so it's only $197. If anybody wants to know more, they can go to creationfrequency.com. I'll be available in a week or two. Anyways, my first intention, I'd walked out on my wife and my 2-month-old baby, and we eventually got divorced, and we've been divorced a couple of years, and needless to say, she didn't like me very much. But my first intention, he said, what do you want? I want to be reconciled with my wife and my daughter, who was 2 at the time. So we wrote an intention as if it already existed, and it went something like this. I love how Lisa and I are so happily married. I love how our daughter Michelle thrives as this marriage. And we wrote about a paragraph or two. And then we did the next week, I wanted to make $10,000 a month. I wasn't even working. I wanted to own my own business. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any credit, but bad credit. Then I wanted to own my own house. And then I wanted to get really good shape and take care of myself, because most of my life had been drugs and alcohol. And then I really wanted to create a boys' home and give back to the world. So those were my 6 intentions. And in week 7, and I didn't know this was going to happen in week 7, and that's why I mentioned this earlier, but in week 7, 1982, he literally brought out a boombox. And you guys are probably too young to remember. We used to have these things called cassette tapes.
Oh, we
What's
remember.
a cassette tape?
Oh yeah, he's older. So so in the boombox, he put a cassette tape, and it played theta brainwave music. And theta brain, the mind or the brain operates on different frequencies, right? And so the theta is the best for manifestation, and to pierce through the conscious mind and into the subconscious mind and to reprogram it. And as we wrote these intentions, he would teach me how to reprogram the subconscious mind. All of us are running on a program that the moment we came out of the womb, they started programming us, right? And we never question it. So there's many things that we're operating on that aren't true, but we've never questioned it. So we live our life by this, and then we're triggered by this, and we don't even know what's going on, right? Because we're running on this program. We're only consciously operating about 5% of the time. And the other 95% of the time, it's the subconscious that's creating your reality. And so anyways, then he brought out a cassette player and handed me a microphone like this, and then he handed me a relaxation script, and which would get me into kind of a self-hypnotic trance. So I recorded it in my own voice on another cassette tape, and with my intentions that I'd written for the past 6 weeks, about a paragraph or 2 each. And so I left there 7 weeks later, $350 poor, with a cassette tape, all right, with the instruction to listen every morning, every night. Okay? Within a year, I owned my own business with no money. Okay, put an ad in the paper, raise the money for a restaurant. Within 3 or 4 years, I bought my own house with no money down. Within 2 years, my ex-wife, who didn't like me, called me up and asked me out on a date for a Christmas party, and we got remarried and had 3 more kids. I've made much more than $10,000 a month, and I've owned my own business almost ever since, and I'm in fairly decent shape. And now, the Boys Home thing never really came to full fruition, but now through the Love for Margot Foundation, which we've literally taken 3 kids hooked on heroin and put them through rehab, and they're all clean today. And also through Mountains of Hope in Colombia, we can take care of young men that are struggling or young adults, whether that is. So that intention kind of came in fruition, but more importantly, through the Love for Margot Foundation, something bigger and better was created. And I appreciate your compliment earlier, but the truth is, I swear to you, the truth is, I just wake up, take a shower, get dressed, walk out the door. It's as if this stuff, whatever I'm doing, good and bad, I guess, but I try to do good, just kind of happens through me. And it's just, I kind of set the intention and then see what happens. So it's a beautiful way to live. And to just be tapped into this energy and vibration and come from a place of, like I said, love and service and compassion. Because I really believe that the world today is at a turning point. The old paradigm, all these wars and all these fiat currencies and all these problems, there's thousands of people homeless 6 blocks from here. Okay, I was just in the Tenderloin not too long ago. They give away free needles, free condoms. And then we have all these wars in the Middle East and blah, 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 blah. And so I think that old thing is shifting, breaking, and a new consciousness is arising. But the power is through love and service and compassion. So we each have our own individual consciousness. I liken it to, like, let's say we're a water molecule in the Pacific Ocean. Okay, there's uncountable other molecules, just like there's uncountable other souls before us now and in the future. So we have our own individual consciousness that we can affect and control. But then there's the collective consciousness. And so I really believe that if all of us can tune into this power of moving to the heart, living through love and service and compassion, then we can at some point hit critical mass, an effective collective consciousness, and all this negative stuff in the world can collapse. It'll be ugly, but it will collapse, and this new consciousness of love and compassion and awareness can erupt, and we can literally usher in heaven on the earth. I believe if enough of us will get this message. So, gracias, guys.
Franco, I know you have a question for
Right,
Mr. Murphy.
You're an amazing guy. You've had experience in helping people and giving them a chance to have a better life and health as well. And if we all work like that, if everyone had an organization like that, we'd be living in a better world, right?
Right, for sure.
Yeah, and so with all your writing in the books, and so that everything comes in your past experience and your love experience, which a lot of struggles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's wonderful that what you're doing, it's a positive thing.
Thank you so much.
And so it was very interesting about the power. What do you call it again?
The creation frequency?
Creation, yeah, and all that stuff. It was very interesting.
So for me, it's like what he taught me. It's like every morning, it's tough listening to this cassette tape when, I'm envisioning this family life that doesn't exist. I'm lonely, I'm sad, many different emotions, right? But every morning, every night, I listen to this beautiful love story that's not even in my reality. So that took a little bit of discipline. But I also believe that literally, I never really explored the mystery man, and I've been talking to his son recently because he passed away a few years ago. So I want to understand what he's taught me, because I've also, since this time, read every book on the law of attraction or manifestation, and also studied the ancient teachers, like Christ and Lao Tzu and Buddha and what they taught. And now with modern science and quantum physics, quantum mechanics, they're really proving that what Tesla taught is energy, vibration, and frequency is really what's going on. So I really believe that, when I listen to this 5, 7, 8 minute tape every morning, every night, I was reprogramming my subconscious mind, but I was literally putting out this frequency into the world and tapping into this energy. And I believe that if we do this properly, that atoms will literally rearrange themselves and show up in the material world. For example, okay, almost everybody has a cell phone or a smartphone, right? So that started as a desire, I would imagine, in Steve Jobs' heart or somebody's heart, right? And then he used the mind to bring it forth into the material world. So it went from the heart to the mind into our hand, into reality, right? And I really believe that if we own this, it's difficult to own that, because what I'm trying to say here is that we co-create everything in our life, the good, the bad, the ugly. And so once we take that responsibility, that power, that we have that power, because really I believe that we're programmed here to take away our power and to make us controllable and get us into the system. You notice everything's a system. You know, you're born into the medical system, and then you're in the family system. Then you go into the educational system. Then you go into the religious system. Then you go into the banking system, and blah, 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 blah. Everything's a friggin' system. We're born to be free. And this is why I think we lose touch with ourselves. I know as a small child, I knew the truth. But then brainwashing, programming, parents, education system, church, blah, blah, television, media. And right, all of a sudden you go along to get along and you forget who you really are. And so I really believe that this frequency goes out and literally comes back for what our intention is. In the highest frequency is love. So the more love I can attach to my intentions, like building Margot's Greenhouse or building Mountains of Hope, or just loving and serving complete people. And we can all do it. You don't have to have, that's the big fallacy. You don't need money to give, okay? We can give a smile. We can give a hand up. We can walk someone across the street. We can go visit people in an elderly home that don't have visitors. So we're all capable of giving. And I promise, there's one message I want to give to the world is that you can't outgive God, okay? And this is in all ancient scripture, okay? But I've been blessed to really experience it firsthand. And the more I give, the more I'm blessed. But it's not one for one. I mean, in the purer the intention of the giving, the more you're going to get blessed how many times over, right? But I have to tell you that my life is just, I'm blown away by it, honestly. It's just what shows up. And the more I give, the more I receive. And so that's a good message.
Have you noticed, ladies and gentlemen? This is one of the few shows I rarely speak because Michael Murphy has taken over the show in such a positive way. And I'm just floored. And all of our viewers and listeners out there, they're just amazed.
You're like flabbergasted right now.
Oh, aren't we all?
Like, you're not even talking.
So let's get right down to it in terms of what's coming up for you. And you have the retreats.
Yeah.
Let's go into detail. That's over in Colombia.
Okay, so we've done two retreats there. So I've owned this farm for maybe 10 months, and it's a work in process. We have 12 bedrooms now. It's a beautiful. You can go to mountainsofhope.com. You see how beautiful it is. It's 7,000 feet in the Andes Mountain. The greenery, the sky is blue. We grow our own vegetables, and the structures are beautiful. The energy is beautiful. So we've had two retreats there previously, and it was using plant medicine, which is somewhat unique to South America, but is gaining traction here in the West. And we literally had so many miracles. And so this is actually in one of these ceremonies where the name of it, Mountains of Hope, came to be. In Spanish, it's Montañas de Esperanza. And so we have a retreat coming up at August 25th, I think, to September 2nd. I mean, you can go for as little as $1,300. It's almost sold out, but there's a few spots left. And it's a detox retreat.
Okay.
So using ketogenics, ketosis. And we're bringing in this wonderful doctor, the detox doctor, Dr. Andrea. You can go to the detoxdoctor.com and see what she's about. But she'll be there for 7-8 days. And really, we're going to do a bone broth fast, okay, a detox. And we'll also have yoga, meditation, colonics, enemas. We have 20 acres, and we built this beautiful walking path around the whole thing. I mean, it's my favorite thing to do, and because it's so healing and so beautiful. The air is fresh, the water's clean, and I honestly believe if you can't heal there in the Andes Mountains at this particular retreat center, you're probably not destined to heal, because it's just you'll just find a different level of frequency, of peace, of love, of joy. And then we have many other things to offer. And what I'm really excited about, I just did it for the first time a month or so ago in Maryland, with a Colombian who was in Maryland visiting, but I did a sweat lodge ceremony. And these go back 20,000 years from the Lakota Indians.
What is that?
So it's crazy, right? So, this table here is maybe, 3-4 feet. So it's not much bigger, and you literally crawl on your hands and knees on Mother Earth. and you're encased in this like tent, and then they've been cooking rocks out here for 10 hours that are really hot, and then they use sacred geometry in the middle of this sweat lodge tent, and they construct or they place the rocks in a particular place, and then they shut the tent, and there's like 20 people. I mean, we're like this, right? And then they pour water. And I don't know how hot it got, but I'm going to guess I do Bikram yoga, which is 105, 110. It had to be 180, 200. And it's like living in hell for 10 minutes. But the whole time he's chanting and praying and playing the drums. And so you survive that 10 minutes, and then they cool it down for 10 minutes, and then you do it again, cool it down. So there's 4 sessions. But I came out of there a completely different person.
You're not getting burnt or anything through the process?
You might get a little steam burn. Your skin skin
getting
feels
cooked.
like it's on fire.
Okay.
You're getting cooked.
But I'll tell you what, you'll come out of there a different person. One, you're detoxing physically, right? But you're also realizing how strong you are, and the prayers and everything. The music is just it was life changing. I've had many life changing experiences, but it added to all the other ones.
Amazing.
So we'll do that at this retreat. And starting next year, we'll probably have a retreat every week. And one of the retreats we'll have is where I will teach the creation frequency. And by the way, if anybody wants to play around with this, we just published an app where you can download the creation frequency app. The frequency music is already embedded. It's very easy to record your intentions.
Oh, cool.
And so hopefully people will take the course. And if you do buy the course, it's $197. And keep in mind, I paid the equivalent of $1,100 for this information. And this is 100 times more information. But also $100 of that $197 goes directly to the Love for Margot Foundation to support the work we do here. And then $97 just goes to pay for the cost of the course. So
That's
there's really
awesome.
nothing in it for me. It's in it for you guys. If you really want to take your life to another level, if you want to experience miracles, then for $197 it's worth it. But so yeah, that's it, man.
Wow. So
Amazing stuff.
roughly around $1,300 for the retreat. So
Well,
yeah.
13 up to that's
And you have to
that's
pay for your
double
own-
occupancy. We have 3 levels of room: deluxe, extra deluxe, and luxury suites. So,
Gotcha.
but the entry level is about $1,300. But
Okay.
that's and you can get to Columbia from San Francisco, round trip for $700-800. So
Okay.
this is a life-changing, and I'll be teaching the creation frequency there as well. And we have many great teachers there that will be there teaching other things, especially healing modalities and how to detox the body and how nutrition, has to be our friend and not our enemy.
Gotcha. Well, there you have it. The whole retreat, life changing. And just get ready to hold those hot coals and
get cooked.
That is Friday. That's the last day of the retreat.
yeah.
And so that's where we anchor all this stuff to you that you will never forget what you've learned there. And we're also in the process of building a beautiful pool and a jacuzzi, a Watsu, which is a healing water thing. More rooms. We'll have actually cabins in the woods.
Wow.
It's very cool. And we're building a clinic there. So, a year from now, it'll be off the charts. We'll be able to sleep probably 30, 40 more people.
Right.
So it's a lot of work, but it's an exciting, fun project.
It's amazing. It's so amazing. Putting all that together.
Thank you.
Michael.
So how often do you travel back and forth from the?
Yeah, I go once a month for 2 weeks there and then 2 weeks here. I have this car dealership here. We have Love for Margot. But most importantly, I have 4 children here, 4 grandchildren. So, have to keep our priorities straight.
So amazing. Amazing. This is incredible. This is incredible. Now, getting back to the creation frequency.
Yeah.
The book will be out.
Yeah,
exactly
it's probably
when?
spring. So now I don't have any control because I signed a deal with a publisher now, so it's up to
Gotcha.
them. But I'm very excited to have a mainstream publisher, and I love Mark Allen, New World Library. He's a great author himself, and I'm just excited to be with him. So I am looking for a publisher for this beautiful book here, right? where are we?
There you go. It's in front of you.
This book is really, if anybody's in publishing or blah blah blah. So, but someday that will be out, hopefully.
That's
At least it's written.
now getting back to the whole movie idea.
Oh yeah.
Which is it going to be
So
about?
Living in Color. So
That one.
Living in Color, basically. So in December 2010, my beautiful wife Margot, where is it? Can you?
It's in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I was told by her doctor after 8 years of battling breast cancer that unfortunately spread to the lining of her lining of her brain and her cerebral spinal fluid. And if she did nothing, she had 6 weeks to live, and if she treated it, she had 6 months to live. So this book really chronicles those last 6 months of her life. It was almost 6 months to the day. until she took her last breath. But she left her body with such grace and peace and love that it was just. I honestly, I mean, of course, I was a basket case, frankly, just trying to hang in there. But I've now had 6 years to reflect on this amazing journey that she took me on, and she still teaches me from the spirit world, and how it's just a beautiful book, and with flashbacks into our love story and also the things that weren't good. But really, I think it's a beautiful book for anybody who's been affected by cancer, or anybody who's been the caretaker like I was, or frankly, anybody that's ever going to die, which is a pretty broad audience. And so I just think it's a very special book. So as far as the movie's concerned, we did have a screenwriter do a proposal and write it up. He thinks it'd be a great movie. We're talking to some agents, but that's down the road. First thing we got to do is publish a book, but I would love to see it as a made-for-TV movie someday.
Who would you like playing you? That's right now a big
Man.
celebrity.
I mean, so in this book, my age is 43 to 54. So
Like Tom Cruise?
Yeah, he's a little taller than me, maybe. No.
Wait, I think he's like 5'8".
No, he's like 5'6".
Yeah, he's pretty short. Yeah.
No, I don't see Tom Cruise, but we'll see. I think we'll see. Who knows? Let's just hope we get the book published first. And
Well,
then,
I'm pretty sure that's going to come around.
we'll see.
And when
I'm hoping.
we manifest
I'm
the actual
hoping.
movie.
Well, we are listening to that creation frequency.
Well, you want to
so,
hear
yeah.
something that's incredible? We have a film producer right there, Lawrence
Amen.
Ariarte. So
All right, Lawrence, let's talk.
yeah, exactly.
Connections.
Yeah,
So,
creation frequency.
see what happened? We get the vibration at a high level.
There
We're
you go.
bringing everyone together.
You never really know, right? That's why you always got to just show up and have your intentions. Like I like to say that most people spend more time planning their vacation than they do planning their life, right? I know I used to be like this, all right? And so, until you create a game plan, and once you do, I got to tell you, I mean, once you sit down and say, and we break the creation frequency up into 6 areas of life, right? And so, you have the physical, you have the family relationship, you have the career, you have the business, you have the dreams. So, but once you sit down and write an intention, it's harder than you think. That's why most people don't do it. What do most people do January 1st? They set a what? New
The
Year's resolution.
resolution.
And what have most people done by February 1st? So after like a dozen years of failure, we just give up. But this process you can only fail by not doing it. Because I promise you, once you set the intention, you write it, you listen, it probably won't develop the way you wrote it and intended. It'll probably come out much better because you're co-creating with the infinite wisdom, the one infinite mind, God, universe, life. It doesn't matter what you call the source, okay? Just realize that there's only one source, and we're all connected to it. And when you tap into it, we're all connected. The heart broadcasts 100,000 times more powerfully than the mind, and everything's a broadcast. We're a receiver and a broadcaster, okay? And the heart attracts 50,000 more times than the mind. So just imagine when you move to here, and now you're broadcasting from here love, okay, and intention of what you truly desire, not some stuff you've been programmed to believe. Many people become doctors and lawyers because that's what their parents programmed to be, right?
Correct.
And so, but they never follow their heart. So once you get in your heart, you follow your heart, and then you use the mind, and then you dream. You dream from here, then you use this to write the intention, and then you just listen every morning, every night. And it may not come out exactly as you wrote it, but I promise you something divine will happen,
Yes.
whatever it's supposed to be. So,
Amazing. Well, we're swept away, Mr. Murphy.
well,
And I think it's just bottled up from all the times that we should have got you on the show on an earlier date, but now you're here.
perfect timing.
Perfect
you know.
timing. And
I
the
mean,
universe.
you're an internet star.
No,
I'm
you're,
just-
you're the star.
Oh, no. I
We're
promise. You probably have more viewers than I ever dreamt of having.
Hey,
But so anyway.
We're going to gather new viewers that are going to share the story to others, and just more the merrier.
Well, I think my son Mike over here is live streaming on Facebook. So hopefully the message is getting out there for
Hey,
my few thousand friends I have.
hey, that's a few more thousand that we could add on.
There you go.
That's for sure.
There, yeah. Everybody out there that's following me on Facebook, check the Slam Show every what's tonight?
Monday.
Every Monday night, and the other one Thursday, which is my favorite.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Michael, for that plug. All right, let's go ahead and do the shouts and plugs to close out the program. So, Truth, you have some time so you could go into detail with your
I
special?
don't really need to. You're just hyping that up, man, like all the time. But anyway, we just want to thank Mike for being here. You're such an inspiration. Hearing your story and how you're able to bounce back from the bottom, and just out here helping other people. So thank you for being here. Definitely, if people like really listen and really focus, then really put their heart into things, they could really change their life the way you did. And and then I'm glad that you're here on the show. And maybe you could change someone's life here that just watched the broadcast. So yeah, definitely thank you for coming on the Slam Show. I want to thank Franco, representing Canada
Yep.
real well
Hey.
over here.
Yay.
You know what I'm saying? So representing the North. Doing it
Not the
real big.
rest of Canada, just the north.
Well, the North Canada, north above
Oh,
us.
okay,
but
okay. I
anywho,
thought you
North
just
America.
yeah. North America or Canada, what's it called? The
north of the border.
north of the border. And thank you again, Slam and Sam, for having me on the show.
You're very welcome, sir. Very
it's
welcome, Kuya.
I'm not a kuya, man. Don't call me that. I'm younger than you. Anywho, so thank you for having me on the show. Definitely love being here. And let me see. I want to thank the Philippine News staff.
Yes, Philippine News.
Philippine News
Yeah.
always.
You need to do an article on Mr. Murphy for the
Let's
Yes.
go.
Come
Let's
on,
go.
Truth.
Okay. So
Well, we just met tonight, so we'll
yeah,
cut them apart.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely get that in the works. But yeah, thank you, Philippine News, all the staff there. Thanks to Smash Gyms in there, and I want to thank my girl Marion.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yes, Marion.
Yeah. So she added Slam on Instagram, so that's pretty funny. So
Was that supposed to happen or not?
no. It's like I don't know. She added you, and then you added her, so that's pretty funny. So.
Okay, I'll let you know when we add each other. Okay. Seems like you're kind of sensitive over that.
No, not
Yeah,
sensitive.
yeah,
I'm just saying it's pretty
yeah.
funny that But
What's
anywho,
funny
I
about
think
it?
he's a little
Huh?
jealous.
oh,
You still have a girlfriend, right?
Yes,
I
I
mean, he
do.
has a beautiful girlfriend, fiance. What?
Fiance, yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
yeah,
you.
but
grow
she-
up beautiful.
Yeah, so you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
you're dumb. You're
Wait,
dumb.
you have nothing to worry about with Sam. So.
No, I'm just. No, it's pretty
Maybe with
funny because-
Franco, but not me.
No, it's funny because she doesn't really add people she hasn't really met and stuff like that. So.
Oh,
but,
so I'm like,
Ooh.
No,
I'm
but-
totally floored and honored by that privilege. Thank you, Truth, for
really
allowing that to happen. Appreciate that.
I thought that was pretty funny.
It's my heart frequency putting
There
it out
you
there.
go.
Brian.
There you
There's
go.
the heart
Now
frequency.
we're talking.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you, Michael,
but,
for that. See
You're
what
welcome.
happens?
Yeah.
Con mucho gusto.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks you guys, and yeah.
And your social media?
Oh, my social media plugs. You could add me on Instagram at truth_P News and Truth Isguera on Twitter. And I'll keep you guys updated with some boxing stuff if you guys want to talk boxing and other sports related stuff or Houston Rockets, whatever.
Boo!
Look at did you know the negative energy coming out from that corner over there? Are you gonna shame that, Mike?
Now I heard the Warriors are going to sign LeBron next year. Is that
I don't know.
Oh, you just gave like 15,000 people a heart attack.
Yeah, man. But anyway, yeah, there's negativity from Islam right there. You gotta take that from your mind, put it in your heart.
There you
Okay,
go.
okay. So I should start loving the Houston Rockets. Is that what you're
it's all-
saying?
It's all love. Come on, man.
Okay.
You heard Mike?
I can't argue with that. Well, thank you, Truth, for coming through. Appreciate that.
He?
Franco, your turn.
Yeah, Mike, you really got me open up in my mind. I've always watched videos on YouTube about the frequency of the energy, and now you made me realize I want to have control of
See,
my inner self.
for sure.
And gracias
Ah,
para
con mucho gusto.
más importante dos información.
See, let's not get carried away because I'm still learning.
A Canadian that speaks Spanish
yeah, and a gringo that
from
does.
Philippines and a native Filipino. What?
And Truth, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And Sam, thanks for having me.
You're very
Um,
welcome.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm here, right?
Well,
I
it's
made
the
it.
again. The frequency says we have to have the Canadian on the Slam Show tonight.
It was a positive energy.
Yes.
There you go. Perfect.
There you go.
Any shouts and plugs and your social media?
I'd like to make a special shout out to my sister and my brother-in-law for you know,
Dropping you off here.
yeah, exactly. Picking me up after the show.
Thank you,
And,
Ubers.
of course, my family in Canada. Thank you, Canada. Oakland. I love Oakland.
And social media. How they could follow you and add you and creep on
Franco
you.
Carlos on Facebook. Instagram is Freestyle Vibe 808. I just got a Snapchat. I still don't know what's it all about, you know. But yeah, it's pretty much just Facebook and Instagram.
There you go. Keep it simple. Facebook and Instagram, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it.
Okay, Michael, your turn.
Yeah, so really, if you really want to be blessed beyond your wildest dreams, I'd invite you to go to loveformargot.com or loveformargot.org, and it's Margot, M-A-R-G-O-T. And one thing I can promise you, if you give, 100% of the proceeds will go to a woman in need, whether it's from cancer or human trafficking. I personally cover all the expenses of the overhead, so this would benefit you. But whatever you do, I don't care who you give to, vet the organization and give, and just watch God bless your life amazingly. So that's loveformargot.org. Or you can follow me at MikeMurphyUnfiltered.com, and some of my content's there. And coming soon, thecreationfrequency.com to buy the online course, and mountainsofhope.com if you want to come to Colombia and really transform your body, mind, heart, and soul. So social media, I'm just on Facebook somewhere.
Or
So-
just Google you.
Yeah,
there's
Google.
so-
You can Google too.
But there's so many Mike Murphys. How do they narrow it down?
Mike Murphy Oakland, Mike Murphy Volkswagen, Mike Murphy Left from Margo, Mike Murphy author or something.
Yeah, you have to add that on, ladies and gentlemen.
There's 9 million Mike Murphys in the world.
How many scams have happened? That's the thing.
But I always get a hotel room, even if I don't have a reservation.
There you go.
Easy work.
That's lovely. That's lovely. And your open house again?
Oh
for-
yeah. So really Thursday night is just really kind of sold out already for it's just our grand opening.
Gotcha.
But after that, if you're in the Bay Area and you're a woman in need with cancer, or need some help in your personal life as far as human trafficking, reach out to. You can email me actually at mike@loveformargot.com. And someone will get back to you if it's not me personally. So we're here to love, serve, and kind of raise the frequency and change the world one heart at a time. So I invite you to reach out to us if you're in the Bay Area and you have cancer or some other need.
I think you got to trademark that. Changing the world one heart at a time.
Yeah,
Okay.
starting with my own.
Oh.
That's the secret.
Yeah. That's
First
amazing.
domino right
That's
there.
amazing. Well, I'll go ahead and close out the shouts and plugs to finish out the episode. Truth, thank you, sir, for being able to come through once again on short notice. And I still support you, love you, even though you're a Houston Rockets fan.
There you go. See, adding the love now. Okay.
Exactly.
I
That-
see
Much
the
better.
change in heart.
I had to
Much
flip the
better.
frequency.
There you
to make
go.
it positive.
Amen.
Okay.
And that's what we have to do
Okay.
to live better and love better. Franco, thank you for
See
coming
ya.
all the way down from Canada
No
for
problem.
just for the show. Just kidding. He's here on vacation, so
Okay.
it's not like he intentionally wanted to be on the Slam show.
But I did warn you ahead of time, right?
You did,
did.
but you gave me no exact date or time or availability. So this was just a shot in the dark that you were able to come through. So thank you, sir.
But it was the energy that brought us all together,
There you
right?
go.
Again,
Okay.
the vibration
Amen.
that Michael Murphy is
Let's keep
teaching
it
us.
going when we leave here.
Exactly,
Okay.
There you
exactly. And I'd like to thank everyone that's in the studio audience here. The incredible son, Jenny in the house. Thank you. We have Lawrence, the film producer.
Don't forget our producer.
Yes. We have
Rage Rockefeller.
Rage Rockefeller, Alex Brumfield, holding it down behind the scenes. And of course, our special guest here, the incredible Michael Murphy. Thank you, sir, for
Thank you.
blessing us on this program. And it's just an enlightenment. I think the energy in here is just like we're awake. It's
Good.
just you just made it
Amen.
magnificent.
Thank you.
And I greatly appreciate all you've done for TVEPN, the Slam Show, providing the venue. And we're just looking forward to many more episodes and can't wait to have
Cool.
you back on.
I look forward to it.
I'd like to thank everyone on the Slam Show crew, Lady Sage, Cindy, Joe Time, remember Joe Time, Michael? And the rest of the
How
crew.
about the girl, the bodybuilder girl too?
Exactly, Shaney.
Shane.
And everyone, thank you so much, all of our affiliates. Little J's in Pittsburgh, thank you for catering. And we'll see you next episode. Peace.
Peace.
Good job.